So before we start, uh, I will take couple of minutes because it is the last RTM of this session season. So actually, what happens? Many people are annoyed with me. Many people are unhappy with me. Some region or other region, they directly complain to me. They complain through Purviji. They complain through group. So actually, you see, we are taking only 2 hours per day, and this in this 2 hours we are trying to cover almost all at least 16 speakers were there. So you can understand that even someone has complained that you have done the partiality. पहले तो ये है कि सबसे पहले मैं सबों को, अगर किसी को हर्ट हुआ है तो मिच्छामी दुक्कड़म। मेरा किसी को हर्ट करने का कोई ऐसा फीलिंग नहीं है, ना किसी के लिए पार्शियलिटी है। लेकिन ये है कि ये इतने लोगों को हम कवर पाए कर पाए और सुन पाए, अपना लक्ष्य यही था। तो इसलिए हमने मतलब जो एक गाइडलाइन तैयार की थी उसके अनुरूप चले थे। और हमारा ये रहता था कि नेक्स्ट आरटीएम भी जब भी हो उससे 10 दिन पहले ही अपना हम शेड्यूल तैयार कर लेते थे। और जो वक्ता होते थे उनको हम कांटेक्ट करते थे कंफर्मेशन के लिए कि हमारा जिससे कि आगे का शेड्यूल बिगड़े नहीं। सो पहली बात तो ये थी। दूसरी बात ये है कि कुछ लोगों का ओपिनियन ये है कि दैट सम ऑफ आवर स्कॉलर्स आर अगेंस्ट जैनिज्म। ऐसा नहीं है। इस ग्रुप के अंदर हम चाह रहे थे कि इवन कोई चारवाक के ऊपर बोलता वो भी हम सुनना चाह रहे थे। बौद्ध के ऊपर कहता तो हम उसे भी सुनना चाहते थे। ये हमारा पर्पस ये था कि हम जैन धर्म को अधिक से अधिक लॉजिकल और साइंटिफिक किस तरह से हम बना सकते हैं, कहीं से कुछ लेकर के कहीं से कुछ समझ करके। अल्टीमेट गोल तो यही है कि हम सत्यता के अधिक से अधिक नजदीक पहुंच सकें। ये पर्पस था। तीसरा कुछ ये भी आया कि साहब आप इस तरह के टॉपिक लेकर के आप जो डिस्कशन करते हैं उसके बजाय तो आपको दूसरी चीज लेनी चाहिए थी। कुछ दूसरे एस्पेक्ट लेने चाहिए, प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन ऑफ जर्नलिज्म टाइप की चीज। मैं एक चीज रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा सभी से। बहुत सारी संस्थाएं हैं और हर किसी के अपने अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव होते हैं, अपने अपने एम होते हैं। हमारी ये संस्था है, इसके अंदर वैज्ञानिक भी हैं, दर्शन शास्त्री भी हैं। पर्पस ये है कि हम अधिक से अधिक सत्यता के नजदीक पहुंचें। उसमें हो सकता है कभी अपनी बाउंड्री खोलनी ही पड़ जाए। हो सकता है कि हमको दूसरों की बात को भी कुछ ऐसा लगे कि वो मोर कन्विंसिंग है। तो इसलिए हमने इन चीजों को लिया। फिर भी इस सब के बावजूद भी आई एम सॉरी, और मैं अपोलाइज करता हूँ अगर किसी को कुछ हर्ट हुआ है तो। सो नाउ आवर स्पीकर जो टुडे वी आर हैविंग टू स्पीकर्स, डॉक्टर नारायण लाल कछारा साहब एंड समणी जी। सो लेट मी स्टार्ट विथ and Samni ji, Shashi Pragya ji. So first of all, I would like to give a brief introduction of Dr. Kachara Saab. Dr. Nalain Lal Kachara is an engineer by profession. He did his PhD from University of Salford, UK. He devoted his career in teaching. He holds position of director, Kamla Nehru Institute of Technology, Sultanpur, and principal MNIT Allahabad. Currently, he is Professor Emeritus, Jain Visvabharati Institute, Ladno. He has organized many seminars and conferences, delivered lectures in India and abroad, including Parliament of World Religion, published dozen books and more than 50 articles. He recorded lectures for online courses that are available at the website www.spiritualscienceeg.com, uh, sciencesg.com, sorry. He is recipient of many awards from various Jain institutes. So, with this introduction, I will like to request Dr. Narayan Lal Kachara Saab to please start with your talk. Basically, he has prepared a question and answer. These question answer raised during the last 4 ATMs, and probably there were some gaps. where proper answer could not be delivered. So in this talk, Dr. Kachara Saab will cover the questions which need further clarification. So with this background, I request Dr. Kachara Saab, please start.
Thank you, Anilji. First of all, I want to thank Subhasji once again for initiating this wonderful series on reincarnation. And I am almost the last but one speakers in this series. And Anilji has been very generous to me in allotting 1 hour to my talk. But I would like to take only half of that time and leave the rest for discussions. I'll not go into the fact of reincarnation. This is an established fact in Jainism. So without touching this, I shall try to address only some of the questions which were raised in for RTM. The first question which comes to my mind is what is the role of Ayu karma, Nam karma, and Gotra karma in reincarnation? We must understand this clearly. We know the rules regarding the bondage of Ayu karma. Soul binds Ayu karma on passage of 2/3 of lifespan. We know this rule. And if not bound at that time, then on the passage of another 2/3 of the remaining lifespan and so on. Ayu karma decides one of the four gati, whether it's Narak, Dev, Tiryanch, or Manush. And this is, to my mind, is a very broad decision. This only decides the gati. The next decision is jati. What is the jati in the next birth? For instance, if it is a Tiryanch gati, which is going to be there in the next birth, then the decision has to be there of the jati, whether it's a 1 sense to 5 sense beings. They are all Tiryanch. Then the type of yoni, what we call as a species in a particular jati. For instance, in case of 5 sense Tiryanch, if it is the 5 sense Tiryanch which is born, then a decision has to be made whether it's a terrestrial, aquatic, or aerial type. And further decision, if it is a terrestrial, then the specific yoni, like dog, cow, horse, etc. So there are a number of decisions which are yet to be taken after the decision of gati. Then Gotra karma decides the parents. For instance, if the rebirth is in a dog yoni, then whether the dog will be in the jungle or a street or whether it will be a pet dog. All these decisions are to be made. So the decisions of jati is made after bonding of gati. And all these decisions may span the entire remaining life, after the gati has been bound. And the decision is also taken at the last minute of death. We know that the leshya does not change in the migration period. So the leshya at the time of new birth shall be the same as the leshya at the time of death in the previous life. This shows the importance of the state of mind at the time of death. Now, what is our state of mind or what is the leshya at the time of death is also going to be the leshya at the time of new birth. The next question which I have written is what is the time interval between death and rebirth? Very important question, and there is no answer. I am not giving an answer. I am just referring to the various kinds of beliefs we have. The Jain belief is that the soul enters the new yoni in 1 samaya or maximum up to 4 samaya. So if this has to happen, then this requires immediate availability of this destined yoni. The yoni must be available so that the soul immediately enters that yoni. This is a very big question. Hindu belief, the Garud Puran says that the soul wanders the lower astral plane for 10 to 49 days as a pret, in a pret yoni. And after this period, the soul may travel to some loka, which they call as a Pitra loka. There is no universally prescribed time frame for rebirth in Hinduism. It can range from a relatively short period to much longer, depending on the soul's journey and the karmic balance. Some Hindu texts and traditions suggest the waiting period can be few years or decades or even longer. Then Theravada Buddhist, they assert that the rebirth is immediate, while Tibetan and most Chinese and Japanese schools hold to the notion that of bardo. There is an intermediate state known as bardo that can last up to 49 days. And this particular concept of bardo, in fact, of Tibetan Buddhism, originally developed in India but spread to Tibet and other Buddhist countries. There is another faith called Druze in some Middle East countries, and they believe that a human soul will only transfer to a human body. The few Druze who claim to remember their past are called Natik. Typically, souls who have died violent deaths in their previous incarnation will be able to recall memories. This is what they believe. There is a book by Swami Sivananda where he has touched this point. A question was put to him: can a departed soul take birth immediately? So Swamiji said, yes, it can. But such instances are rare. A very sensual individual with strong cravings of one with intense attachment sometimes is reborn quickly. Also, in cases where life is cut short by a violent death or a sudden unexpected accident, the jiva resumes its thread very soon. In that case, it can remember many of the events of the previous life. So these are all beliefs. The third question which I have raised is why memories of past life are recalled in early age only. This is what happens in the studied cases by Dr. Stevenson and others. So the studied cases of rebirth shows that memory of past life is recalled in age of 35 months to 7 years. This is the period where this memory is recalled. To understand this observation, we should know more about memory. What is memory? According to Jainis, memories are stored in Brahman, which is a part of the soul. Now, Brahman is a kind of spokesman or spokesperson of the soul. This is a Sruta Gyan. And this Sruta Gyan is stored in the Brahman, and this is besides the karma records. The karma records are different, and Brahman is different. The memory of every event in life is stored as a file to understand in modern terms, and many files are created every day. Ordinarily, a soul remains busy with these files, thinking on them, imagining, etc. Due to moha, it constitutes the mental activity. So the soul is mostly occupied with some kind of mental activity. These files are continuously modified because of the karma process of apavartan, udavartan, udhirana, and sankraman. Now, these are the processes which have been discussed in detail in Gomat Sarji, Kant, Dhavala, etc., and also by the process of Nirjara. Some files are modified partly or fully, and some are deleted after karmas have given their fruits. So this is a ongoing process. So the karma background is dynamic and keeps on changing with time. The soul is placed in each situation at every stage of life. Now, there are two kinds of files. One that were created in the past lives, and two that are created in this life. The files created in this life are of immediate interest to soul and get priority by mind over other files. File creation in a newborn child mainly starts at the age of 2.5 to 3 years when the child has developed speech ability and some understanding of the world. And there is a fair chance of activation of the past files and recollection of memories of the past life at this stage. And condition is given in the next line. Recollection of memories of the past life is called Jati Smaran, as we all know. And this happens on Upsham of Mati Jnanavani Karma, Upsham of Mohani Karma, and Chit Vishuddhi. These are the conditions for recollection of past memories. The next question I have written is why memories of past life are recalled mostly in cases where the previous personality had a violent death. In the case of normal deaths, let us analyze this. The soul has time to reconcile with the fact of the death, and he knows that the death is inevitable and that she is going to die. So soul accepts this fact, and the memories of the actions performed in this life go in a silent mode. There is acceptance. The probability of recollection of these memories in the next birth is low. In case of violent death, soul is in pain and is having suffering emotions, and the soul has no time to reconcile with the imminent death, and the life memories are not forgotten. The probability of recollection of these memories in the next birth is high. This is what I think. The next question is, can the memories of past life be recalled in an adult age? Yes, the answer is yes. This is possible when the chit is silenced by meditational practices. The memories of this life then are suppressed and the soul can remember the memories of past life. There have been some experiments on this. Late Muni Kishanlalji of Therapan's son, he conducted camps, for the people who are interested in recollection of memories. And some of them, 7 of them, did recall memories of past life in his camp, but there is no way to verify them. You can't verify the actuality or the facts of these recollections. The book is here, Rahasya Puru Janmoka, you can see here. And in fact, he has written 2 books. There is another book here, which titled Yatra Puru Janmki. But this book gives the details. Dr. Dhruti Rathi also had such experience, which she presented in a talk. The next question is, why memories are recorded in cases of human-to-human births only? All the cases which have been studied by Dr. Stevenson and others, this is the case, human-to-human birth only. So my thinking is that the memories in Brahman are recorded only in Sangeet Panchendriya mode. It's only when the soul has man, then the memories are recorded in the Brahman. And that is either in the case of Sangeet Panchendriya Tiryanch mode or in Manushya only. And out of these 2 modes, only humans have developed mind and their memories are clear, they are cognitively superior, and therefore they are mostly amenable to recollection. Another question, why injury marks and deformities of body in previous life reappear in new life? This has been found in some cases. And we know that it is the Nam karma that is responsible for construction of new body. So these karmas, if these karmas were born in the last life, that is, these marks on the body were born in the last life, and also in the previous lives, if possible, and if the injury marks of deformation of the body was born in the last life, then it would appear in the body in the new life. Yes, this was born as a Nam karma. Another question is, why there is a display of some traits like phobia, interest, skills, such as language, in this life, which are not learned. So, My thinking is the files of all such traits were stored as a Brahman, as a Sruta Gyan in the last life. Just like Jati Smaran, these may also sometimes be recollected by the soul without making a reference to past life. Consciously we don't know that this is coming from the last life. For instance, a child in India speaking English, which she did not learn here, but she speaks English. This is because of this kind of recollection. The next question which I have written is, can the religious beliefs explain the cases in which the soul had memories of the interval period in between the two births? And this is a very interesting question. Only in about 23% cases examined by Dr. Stevenson, the soul had memories of the interval period between the two births. The time interval between the two births was usually less than 3 years. Now, it varied from culture to culture and ranged from 4 months to 140 months. In the observed cases, the soul in the interval period was in a loka that was very well lighted, very cozy, comfortable, and much superior to earth in every respect. This is the observation. The soul remembered the past life here as if it was a continuation of the previous life and not a new birth. In this situation, the soul treats this period as a continuation of the past life. According to Jain belief, the soul takes birth immediately after death. And therefore, if the human soul is born again as human, say after 2 years, then it should have a life in some other yoni in the interval period. According to above description, the intermediate life was like in a celestial yoni. The soul in this mode now has to bind new karma, that is in that celestial mode, and to enter the next Manushya yoni. And this appears to be very unlikely, as generally the lifespan in a celestial realm is thousands of years, and that cannot be shortened. So it cannot be reborn in Manushya yoni in 2 years, according to Jain belief. But according to Hindu belief, in the type of place described above, the soul after death remained in Pitriloka. From here, the soul takes new birth when a suitable body is available according to karma. The soul treats the interval time as a kind of extension of the previous life and as a waiting period till it had a chance to occupy another suitable human body. The soul in Pitraloka remembers the previous life and the memories are carried forward to next birth. So according to this, we find that the Hindu belief appears to describe the observed cases better than the Jain belief. I am presenting an alternate view here in Jain perspective. This is a big if, and this is only a thinking, it's only a speculation. Please don't believe if you don't accept this. Soul has free will, we all have free will. We take decisions independent of karma, and this has been called as a purushars, So we exercise our purushars, take decisions which are not karma dependent, and this is how we act in our life. The question is, does this power of soul cease to exist suddenly on death? It would be justified to assume that like all other powers, this power also continues to exist after death. The soul never loses powers. The problem of availability of yoni exists only in cases where the next yoni is either Manushya or Panchendri Tiryanch. Then the yonis are very limited, and finding a yoni immediately is very, very difficult, in fact. In all other cases, like lower organisms up to 4 sense beings, which are considered samurshim, Dev and Narki, there is no limitation of yoni. any number can be take birth on those yonis. When destination is Manish or Panchendri Tirenchi yoni, the soul exercises its free will, this is what I suppose, and decides whether to take birth on earth or elsewhere in Lok. If the soul knows that yoni is immediately available there, this is the condition. And if the soul decides to take birth on earth, including those souls which are coming from Swarg, Narak and elsewhere in middle Loka, then they had to wait for a suitable yoni and they wait in a vacric body. This is what I think. The soul may remain around the place of death for a few days and then travel to a different place in Loka. The waiting period could also be a choice of the soul, how much to wait. As the soul cannot do any useful work with a vacric body, it desires for an Avdaric body, and he wants to take birth in Avdaric, he wants to have an Avdaric body and take a rebirth. So rebirth, of course, is the required destination. If the soul has born for a yoni that is not available on earth, many species are becoming extinct nowadays on earth, as we know, then it has necessarily to migrate to other parts of Loka where that yoni is available. The next question, why the human population on earth is increasing? This question was raised. Jain belief. This is not a valid question in Jainism because the Jain belief does not consider the life on a particular land like earth in isolation, but the life in the entire lok at the same time. A soul on any land can take birth on any other land according to his karma and availability of yoni. In case of human birth, the yoni must be available exactly at the instant of death of the previous personality. As more yonis are available on earth, souls from elsewhere in Loka take birth here, and that is why the population is increasing. Transmigration analysis, Gati Agati, which Dr. Dharamchandji presented, shows that the probability of migration from Manish unit to Manish yoni on earth is very low, and that is why the Manish yoni is so precise, so precise and desirable, as the yoni must be available instantly to the migratory soul. Hindu belief, in a Hindu belief, there is no concept of ayu karma. So there is no limitations of that kind. According to this belief, the soul of the deceased person waits in Pitriloka for availability of a suitable body of choice according to karma. As more human bodies are available, yonis are available, there are more human births. Another interesting question is why the soul is able to see the body and other things out of body experience, which Dr. Dhruti Rati experienced. In case of out of body experience, the soul pradesha along with carbon body and tejas body extend in space. This is like a samudgat. So in fact, in out of body experience, the samudgat is taking place. Soul floats in room and sees the body lying below on the ground and other objects in the room, So all the people may not see the objects, but many do. We know that a soul having vacric body in celestial and hellish mode and not Avdaric body, as we know, has avji gyan by nature. So all narkis and devas have avji gyan by nature, So it appears that this is the Avdaric body which is preventing manifestation of avijna in people like us, or all the living beings having Avdaric body. And avijna, which is a natural property of the soul. And this does not manifest if the soul has the Avdaric body. In case of OBE, the soul floating in air must have avadhi gyan, because this is now out of the odaric body, of limited kind, of course. For the period, it is out of the body and is able to see without the help of sense organ, because the soul is now floating, does not have the eyes to see, but even then it sees, the soul sees. So it is the avadhi gyan which makes this possible. The soul in this case does not face the limitation of brain in cognition activity and is able to recollect the events of this life as well as the distant past, which are recorded in Brahman. So there are many experiences of this kind in out-of-body experiences. And based on such recollections, the soul may have special kind of experiences which are described in Hindu tradition or by Dr. Stevenson. There are many, I am not going to repeat this. I think Subhasji covered them in his talk. A question was raised, is there a hierarchy of soul? From Nischanaya point of view, all souls are equal, so there is no hierarchy. But from the Vyavarnaya point of view, the souls are ordered by the state of development of their consciousness. As Nigod, Sthavar Quadrat, Vanaspati, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, 5 sense, Siryanj and Manish. This is the hierarchy of the souls, according to Vyavarnaya. Next question is, can death of a cell be called as death? This is what many people said in the lectures, that the bodies die every moment. Rebirth is a change of yoni and not body. This is important to understand. As the body changes with time, it's not the change of body, it's the change of yoni, which is reincarnation. So death of cell is not death of a being. This is very clear. During any change in the body, harmony, coherence, order, symmetry, etc. is maintained by nam karma through prana. So we have to understand the role of prana here. Mind has no role in such changes, and we are not conscious of the body processes. So whatever processes are taking place inside the body, we are not conscious of them because the mind is not connecting. Very important question which was discussed here. Can an embryo be preserved? This point I think I did cover in one of the earlier lectures, but I'll repeat them here. 2 types of age can be defined. One we call as a karmic age, another chronological age. Karmic age is fixed by the quantum of Ayu Karma and is the period in which the Ayu Karma balance becomes 0. So this is the karmic age. Chronological age, the time duration in which the Ayu Karmas are exhausted by the process of Udaya. The Ayu Karma as rising every moment in our body. This is why the body is alive. So this can be different from the karmic age according to where the Ayu Karma get rise in the body, depending upon the metabolic rate, accidents, and other fatal events. So there are regions of Akal Mrityu, and Dr. Dharamchandji discussed them in one of our lectures. By proper method of preservation, like cryogenic methods, the rate at which the Ayu Karmas get rise to maintain life can be reduced and the chronological age can be increased. That does not mean that it goes beyond the karmic age. No, it remains within that limit, but it can be, more or low, less or more. This happens due to reduced metabolic activity in cryogenic state. So a person lives longer, but not more than the karmic age. This also question came up in the discussions. What is the role of seed, sperm, and ovum in making a yoni? This is from the biological point of view mostly. Seed is yoni bhut. This is what we say in Jainism. Seed is yoni bhut. That is, it is ready to receive a migratory soul under appropriate conditions. So when the seed is placed in appropriate conditions, it germinates. So migratory soul comes and occupies that seed. Sperm and ovum are not yoni-bhut and cannot receive a migratory soul individually. Sperm individually, ovum individually cannot receive migratory soul. They are not yoni-bhut. But a zygote which is formed by fusion of sperm and ovum is yoni-bhut and is ready to receive a migratory soul. So it is the zygote only and not the sperm and ovum which receives the soul. Migratory soul completes the paryaptis in an antarmuhurt time and the life begins on completion of paryaptis. This in fact is the time the information from the karmic body of the migratory soul is transferred to the DNA of the zygote. At this stage, body starts developing according to the nam karma of the incoming soul, not the karma of the parents. Sperm and ovum is a physical biological structure. It doesn't have life and can be preserved in appropriate conditions, no problem. What is the role of DNA in nam karma? I think we must understand this very clearly. DNA codes for production of protein. This is what biology says. And nam karma has the information for constructing the body and its parts intelligently. This word intelligent is very important here. So that the parts like what we call as angopang, and the whole body, sharir, are constructed as right functional units. And this is accomplished by paryapti and pran. So, the whole thing is being done very intelligently, and DNA, being a material structure, doesn't have intelligence. DNA is specific to type of species, So each species, yoni, requires a specific type of DNA. So DNA is, for a Manish yoni, is different from DNA of the dog yoni and so on. This question also came up. Are silver and gold jeev? Well, simple answer. Silver and gold is or are jeev. When processed, they are not, they are a jeev. Does a Siddha Jiva remain in steady state, enjoying its natural properties, like Ananta Gyan, Ananta Darshan, etc.? This question must be, clarified. A Siddha Jiva does not reincarnate, as we all know, in the absence of karma, but being at dravya, satisfies the condition of utpad vyaya dravya. This condition is still satisfied by Siddha Jiva. It experiences changes in its state. The natural properties undergo quantum change, So the Gyan, Darshan, Sukh, Vir, these properties are continuously changing in their limits, they still remain infinite. Another important question from biological point of view, are memories of past life stored in brain? Where are the past life memories stored, As far as biology is concerned, it's a question mostly a question of biology. I'm quoting here first some experiments. Michael Persinger, he neuro psychologist, and Todd Murphy explored the application of neuroelectromagnetic fields on brain. They rigged up a device like motorcycle helmet with electromagnets and directed electromagnetic energy to specified parts of the subject's brain. The subjects often had spiritual and religious reactions, especially mystical feelings of being in the presence of God, triggered by the energy fields. Persinger found by varying the frequency and intensity of the electromagnetic pulses, a united state with the universe could be elicited as well as sensed presence of God. The sense which a person makes out of this experience depends on how it is interpreted, and that interpretation is based on one's earlier experiences and culture. How can these experiences be explained by Jain philosophy? This is the question. In Jain philosophy, mind and brain are different entities. That is the first thing. Mind works with brain. This is another fact. And these two together form a system where the mind, can be regarded as a software and brain as hardware. And this is the kind of perspective people are having. And the memories are stored in mind and not brain. This has been proved by medical scientists that brain does not store memories. The question is how the memories of the past life are accessed through brain. This is what happened by application of electromagnetic field. Now this is a difficult question to answer and only a speculation is made here. What happens is that the excitation of brain by electromagnetic means at a certain frequency induces a similar excitation in the mind field. We have two kinds of mind, a Dravyaman and a Bhavaman. Dravyaman is physical and made up of mano-organa and may exist as some kind of field, what we call as a mind field. So this mind field gets excited when a brain is excited by resonance principle. And this activates or supposed to activate the Bhavaman, and the subject becomes conscious of the memory of the corresponding state, which corresponds to this kind of excitation. And if the excitation frequency matches some memories of the past life, then these are activated and the subject becomes conscious of that part of his past. This is what was found in the experiments. But this experience lasts for the period of excitation only. The subject returns to this earlier state on the removal of the excitation field. Such an experience is not likely to be an organized one, and the subject may not be conscious of one particular event, but maybe a combination of many events, maybe spanning more than one life, and making the experience a confused story. Various kinds of experiences were narrated by the subjects. The experiments show that the connection between mind and brain is location specific. By exciting different parts of the brain, different memory records in the mind were activated. And the last question, which I am writing here, and this was also raised in one of the RTM, why there is sukh and dukh? Why not only sukh or only dukh? My answer is, nature favors existence of pair of opposites, such as Jeev and Ajeev, male and female, positive and negative, matter and antimatter, dharmastika and adharmastika, etc., to maintain balance. This is required to maintain balance. So is sukh and dukh. So to maintain balance, you must have both. But the important point is, without dukh, you will not realize what is sukh. अगर जीवन में दुख नहीं है तो आपको पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि सुख क्या है. This view is also supported by doctrine of Anekantva, which admits concomitance of opposites. Opposites can coexist. And we all know that we bind both Sata Vedani and Asata Vedani karma, and we have Sukh and Dukh. Lastly, I am giving you this picture of our book, myself and Dr. Pratap Sancheti have written, Soul, Mind, Body. If you have time and you please get a copy of this book, and this gives many more questions on this topic, which we have been talking, and other relevant questions on Jain biology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kachara Saab. Uh, Actually, your health was not permitting, even you accepted our request to be present and give your talk. So we are very thankful to you. So now we will take the questions after a short while from now. So now I will call Samni ji. Uh, Dr. Samani, Dr. Shashi Pragya ji.
Would
After
we
that,
make
we
the
will take
host?
the.
Can you
Yes, you
share
are
my
co-host.
slides?
Yes,
Yes, you are
you are
already.
co-host. You can share the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So I will give a brief introduction. Dr. Samani, Dr. Shashi Prava ji is an associate professor in the Jain Vishwa Bharati Institute, Ladnu. She is MA in Comparative Religion and Philosophy, MA in English Literature, and MPhil in Applied Philosophy of Anekant and PhD in Jainism. He has authored many books including Applied Philosophy of Anekant and Applied Jain Ethics, published 35 research papers. She has been an editor of Tulsi Pragya, a quarterly journal of Jain Vishwabharati Institute, and translated many classical texts. She has also been a research director of an ongoing project on Jain Agamic Dishtant Kosh, funded by ICPR. So now I request Samni ji, please start your talk.
Ammo Mangalamukkitam Ahimsa Sanjamutavo Devavitam Namam Santi Jassadhammi Sayamano Jassadhammi Sayamano. My hearty vandana to His Holiness Acharya Mahashramanji, respected all the participants of in this RTM. And I first of all I would like to congratulate Mr. Bhandari ji for holding this RTM of reincarnation, scientific research, and philosophical evidences. Uh, and in this talk, in this five sessions, we had a very deep discussions on different aspects of rebirth, pre-birth, reincarnation, and many parapsychological evidences of Stevenson, etc. And many speakers also spoke on all these subjects on the scientific basis also. But today I am going to highlight specifically the Jain canonical evidences, which highlights the concept of rebirth and pre-birth. Actually, Jain Vishwabharati Institute used to hold every year 21 days of understanding Jainism course program. In that, in summer vacation, students from abroad and from India also, they used to participate in that program. And during these 21 days, it is quite often fixed that I used to deliver my lecture on the theory of karma, rebirth, and pre-birth. And in that context, many non-Jain scholars, foreigners, who used to listen the theory of karma, they used to say, what is the proof that there is rebirth and pre-birth? How can we have, we can believe that there is pre-birth and rebirth? At that time, there are a lot of dilemmas in solving this problem. How we can prove through the Jain canonical evidences the concept of rebirth and pre-birth. So I searched, I did a research, and I have seen many canonical literature. And today I am going to deal 32 canonical literature, canonical texts of Jainism, and in all the text, what and all given evidences of rebirth and pre-birth, all the incidents, all the stories, all the illustrations. I would like to just highlight, I just to hint upon, because I cannot speak in detail, but I will just hint upon it. So first of all, the theory of rebirth and pre-birth is dependent upon the theory of causation. And we all of us know that the very foundation of philosophy is the theory of causation. Without cause, there can never be an effect. Unless and until we will not understand the theory of causation, we cannot understand the theory of rebirth. We cannot understand the theory, the doctrine of karma, the existence of eternal soul. Unless and until we will not accept this theory of causation, we cannot explain the fundamental doctrines of any philosophy. So, the cause and effect philosophy, the karma philosophy is nothing but the cause and effect philosophy. And we all of us know Jain philosophy accepts 8 karmas, and good deeds or bad deeds, both are binding the soul. So, uh, how we can stop this cycle of bondage? Because the main cause of bondage is our passions, anger, pride, deceit, and delusion. Okay, greed. So, and impure activity, inauspicious activity of mind, body, and speech. These two things, they attract karmic particles, okay, from the entire cosmos, and that leads to the karmic bondage. And on the basis of intention and action, mental, physical, and verbal, it depends on bondage duration depends upon the intention or action of particular person. And after the completion of the lifespan of particular karma, we each and every soul experience its karmic fusion. So how we can break this cycle of bondage, fruition, attraction of karmic particles, and how we can break this cycle? In Jain philosophy, it is said we can stop and clean the karma through inhibition or shedding of karmas. That is samvara and nirjara. We all of us know ashravo bhava hetu syat samvaro moksha karanam itiya marhati drishti ranyadasya prapanchanam. The main cause of bondage is ashrav, and the main cause of liberation is samvar and nirjara. Samvar. Okay, so by minimizing the incoming karma, inflow of karma, and by destroying the accumulated karma, one can attain the state of liberation. So, but how, who decides that what will be our next destination? Because many persons believe that the present birth, like Charok philosophy believes that present life is everything. Okay, whatever is visible direct to our direct perception, that has true existence or real existence. So each and every soul, whoever in transmigrates from one birth to other birth, how he takes in next birth, it depends upon one's action and passion, as already I have discussed. So these are the 4 places where we can have the our birth: heaven, humanly beings, and animal and plant beings. Okay, all immobile, 2, 3, 4 sensed beings, 5 sensed animal beings, and plant, all the immobile beings: fire, air, water, earth, etc. And hellish being. These are the 4 places where we can go. And due to our auspicious karma and its fusion, we can get heavenly and human kingdom. And by inauspicious actions, fusion of karmas, we can get Tiryanch or Narakati. So, karma philosophy deeply believes, as you sow, so shall you reap. So it says that whatever action, mental, verbal, or physical, we perform, accordingly we get its fruition. Now the question arises, fruition, how does the fruition occurs? So it depends upon our actions and passions. Okay, so we have the 4 concepts: punyanubandhi punya, papanubandhi punya, punyanubandhi pap, papanubandhi pap. These are the 4 we can say results through which our actions, our fusion is determined. In Thanam Sutra, we find these 4 illustration. Here I want to highlight, any person has done good deeds in previous birth, In next birth also, due to that those previous auspicious actions, he gets good fruition. Okay, like example of Bharat Chakravarti. Then Papanubandhi Punya. Earlier, in the Nandan Manyar soul, has built many, constructed many ponds and all. Okay, he bound many karmas because he wanted the self praise, and he died out of, and after that he became the frog and all. So Papanubandhi Punya, and here Punyanubandhi Pap, the Mamman said, you all of you know he was very greedy fellow. So earlier birth, he was very in rich family, but due to his greed, he was born, as Mamman said, as very with poor situation. And Papanubandhi, you all of you know, Kal Saukuri Kasai, he used to kill 500 cows in the well also. So due to this bad karmas of killing the animals, he bound the karmas Punyanubandhi Pa, Papanubandhi Pa. So the law of, what is the law of fruition of karma in Jain philosophy? Once we have we have bound the karmas, we get its fruition in this life or next life. It depends upon our action, because if it is very mild, then the fruition of particular karma can be experienced in this life itself. And in few cases it can be experienced in next coming life births in the some same form or another. We will discuss this in another slide, that once we are we are hurting any person, one person, but we have to reap its fruition by multiplication, and one time or many times. So here I am going to, the main cause of bondage is intention and or action. So I don't want to explain. It is Dashvekalik Nirukti of Bhadrabahu. It is highlighted Dravya Hinsa or Bhavinsa, violence at physical level but not at subtle level. The careful action, if you are careful in walking, physically any being is dead, still you are not supposed to be the killer of that being, because you are very much apramat, you are very much careful. Violence at subtle level but not at physical level, like Tandul Matsya, you know it, the example. Violence at subtle level as well as at physical level, king Shreni. Okay, neither violence at subtle level nor at physical level, no bondage. So here we see the multiplicity of positive emotions. I already told Sangam named small boy. He gave kheer to a monk with full of devotion. Okay, so due to that auspicious action of Dan, Atithi Samvibhag, he was born in the next birth as Shalibhadra, and with full of richness and full of luxurious life. And earlier he used to stay in one hut. Okay, now he got in multi-story building. Okay, and earlier he gave only the substance was kheer. Here he got the 33 boxes of gold from heaven every day. So all these highlights that due to the good positive emotions leads to the next birth. Fruition is given as multiplication, is found in the multiplication. The negative emotions, if any person is very in angry or in ego or in greed, what happens to those fellows who have negative emotions? Like I have given the examples of Chandakoshik and Tamli Tapas and snake and all. Okay. I don't want to go in. How many previous births memory can be recollected? The question was raised in earlier sessions. It is pointed out that 9 bhavas memory of previous birth is possible in persons with that mind. Samanaska bhav, we can have the memory of 9 samanaska bhavas of previous births. And in Acharang Vritti, we find that Sankhya bhava, countable or numerable bhavas of past life memory is possible. It means we can recollect the innumerable bhavas memory also. Now the question arises, why people don't believe in rebirth and pre-birth? So in Tandul Vayalyam, it is a Prakirnik Sutra. It is written, Jayamanas Jam Dukkam, Maramanas Vapuno, Tena Dukkena Sammudo, Jayam Sarim Napanno. The person who is born, he doesn't have the remembrance of past, because during the birth he feels a lot of suffering, and during the death period also he faces a lot of pain and suffering. So due to the extreme suffering, he's not able to regain the memory of pre-birth. In Acharang Sutra, we get in the first chapter of the first sutra, we get एवमेगेसिम नो नाथम भवति अत्थि में आया ओवाई नत्थि में आया ओवाई के अहम आसी के वाई चू इहा पच्चा भविष्यामि. Here it is said, from where I have been come, where I will go. Okay, it is my soul subject to birth, or is my soul not subject to birth? Who was I, or after departure from here, what shall I become in my next birth? Sejam puna janejja सहस्र मुये पर वागरनेन अन्येसिम वा अंतिम सोच्छा तम जहा पुरिथिमाओ वा दिशाओ आगवो अहम अमसी दक्षिणाओ, मतलब from southern part, from the northern part, eastern part, from which part, which direction I have been come in this birth. Okay, by one's own power of recollection, from exposition of advanced by an authority having the power of direct knowledge, and on hearing from someone. This has been explained by Professor Dharamchandji Jain, so I will not go in detail. So it is the first sutras highlight that we had our rebirth, pre-birth. That's why it is said, from which direction I have been in this birth, present birth. Okay, in the same way, some may know my soul being subject to birth, transmigration in these cardinal directions or intermediate directions, that is I myself. So only few people have this belief that I was in pre-birth and I will be in the rebirth. So when many non-Jain scholars and professors, they raised this question, then I searched, and in Acharang Sutra, I found the evidence, canonical evidence of rebirth and pre-birth. It is said, that is a very, I was very much impressed by this aphorism of Acharang Sutra, Jassanati Pura Pacha, Majje Tassa Kavosya. What has neither a before nor an after cannot have a middle. The present sutra has also been explained metaphysically. What had no existence in the past, nor will have any in the future, cannot have any existence in the present. The implication is that the existence of the present life is possible only on the acceptance of the existence of the previous birth and the birth in the future. Okay. At present,
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Please conclude.
Okay. So in Pramay Kamal Mahatma also we get the evidences of rebirth and pre-birth. And one book is published by Jain Vishwabharati publication, Punarjanmavad. The text itself, the name is Punabhavao. In that we get lots of examples of Punarjanma, like existence of Parlok, rebirth due to karma, independence of existence of soul, transmigration 4 realms, end of transmigration, travel from mundane soul to liberated soul. In this text, we get all the canonical references where the concept of rebirth and pre-birth have been accepted. Cognition occurs due to the Jati Smriti. We all know Naminar. I have given all the references with canonical exact references. Nami Rajarshi, he had a Jati Smriti, Brigaputra, okay, Briguputra sons, Sudarshan Seth, Muni Megh Kumar, and Jita Shatru by hearing, and the Pushkarani pond construction from citizens. Frog named Dardur had pre-birth memory of Nandan Maniyar. Tetli Putra having memory of pre-birth in Mahapadma
Yes.
realm.
Okay.
He was a
Please
king
conclude.
and became a
Please
monk.
conclude.
Ah.
Please conclude.
In this way, in this text, we get all the Muni Sambodh, etc. Rebirth, pre-birth evidences. These are the evidences which I have collected past, present, and future. Where he will go? What are the names of future 24 Tirthankaras, and how many Tirthankaras had 11 Angas knowledge? Like all these concepts have been discussed, and king present, past, and future three life are been has been explained in this reference. Actually, I wanted to detail all these things. We in future we can do this, and in all these references I have just highlighted how
Yeah, we will take.
Jain's empirical.
We will take your. Yeah, some part is there. We will take in question answer. I am requesting to conclude because we have to take the
Okay,
questions for Kachara
okay,
Saab
okay,
because
okay,
he can't stay more on the
okay,
screen.
okay.
That's why.
Okay, let me wind up my view. We have the reference of past, we have the references of past, present, future birth in the canonical text. So there is no doubt that there is rebirth and pre-birth. Om Arham.
Thank you, Samay. And sorry to interrupt you because we have to take the questions for
Yeah, yeah,
Kachara
yeah.
Saab because he has to leave after a short while now. So now the forum is open to ask the question first from Dr. Kachara Saab. If anybody is having questions, please raise your hands. So first hand is raised by Dr. Parag. Uh, please ask the question.
GC Jain from Jaipur.
Please wait, sir.
Sir, that
Dr. GC Jain from Jaipur.
Please wait. Please wait.
Okay,
Somebody is
okay,
speaking.
okay.
Sir Jai Jinendra to all. A very nice session. Really, I liked it. My question is about the important aspect of the gap between two, the interval.
ये क्या हुआ?
Sir, the interval between two birds.
ये टैब बंद ये तुमने
ये क्या हुआ?
छोड़ो छोड़ो
ये पूर्वी जी अनम्यूट कर दीजिए सबों को.
हाँ हाँ
यस गो अहेड पराग जी.
Sir. So I think my question is if the soul has a free will and if the Samudghat is possible, then it can immediately take birth in the next body, yoni, and then after taking a birth, after taking the entering the yoni, it can also travel to another place and it can remain in two places because the babies, which I'm a doctor, so I know baby sleeps for almost 23 hours in a day, and during sleep it has rapid eye movement sleep, REM sleep and non-REM. Mostly it is REM. So it is traveling in the space and it can travel at any place and it can remain at two places. And when it can remain at two places, then that explains the thing that it has a memory between two births. At 3 years, which you said, which the research shows that up to 3 years this is possible. The gap is 3 years. So 3 years is a period which explains that the child will start forgetting its previous births, and 3 to 7 years, 7 years it will forget. So up to 3 years there is no activity as such in the mental plane that mind which is there, that I'm not getting the proper word, but the mind can travel, that Sukshma Sharir can travel into the past lives or past lives. The memory can travel and it can go into that area where it was present in the previous birth. So it can remain in two places or three places, which is the power of the soul, which has infinite. So I
Okay.
want the opinion of the speaker, sir, Dr. Kachara.
Yes. Okay. Kachara Saab, please.
No, it's not possible for soul to remain at two places in two yonis at a time, This is
Not
not possible.
yonis, sir. I'm not saying yonis. I am saying just be present, like a dream. I can, if I can sleep and I can travel in the dream to a different place. It is
No,
absolutely like
dream,
teleportation.
no,
I mean, like
no.
teleportation is possible now. I can remain
I
here
get
and
your,
I can
I
travel
get
anywhere.
your point.
Yes, sir.
You are referring dreams, as if, the soul is going to some other place. This is not true. Dream is only a mental activity
Not
taking
dream,
place.
sir. I'm not dream. Dream is the only analogy which I am giving. Of course, I think we can travel to a different place through astral plane. You can say astral plane or some other plane, and I can remain at two places because it is a
No,
quantum.
please listen. Please listen the answer first.
Oh, sir.
Yes. Kachara sir.
No, this is not possible. This is possible only, there are cases where the soul goes to another place. One is Aharakshari, which travels to another place, but that is a different story. It does not happen in the case of a child, So if you are referring to child, then it is not possible.
It is not possible. It looks like this also to me also. Because if we are traveling or we are doing the samudgad, our soul is attached to this body itself, and that soul is touching to other thing. You can say that like this way.
The soul extends in space, that's all.
Yes, soul extend its space, or
Yes.
but it is connected with our body itself.
Yes, connected.
Yes.
Yes.
Always,
So
it cannot leave the audaric body.
yes,
It's
it
not
cannot
living.
leave.
It's only
Yes,
extending, not living.
it can extend. So you can say it is touching the other body also. It is touching the other place also. But a soul will attach to our body itself. Bhandari sir, please.
I just wanted to clarify that just like particles have wave and particle nature, soul also can be a wave and particle. It can be centralized, it can be confined as a soul in a body, as well as it can go anywhere in this space, in the consciousness space. That is my view. So it is possible in a way, it can't leave the body, but that is where it has materialized, if we use this word. But it can be everywhere. I think it is connected with what you call as the Chedakash or the Chetana field. So that is possible, but there are other questions about what Dr. Parag said. We'll
Bhandari
come
Saab,
to
you are
it
right.
later.
You are perfectly right. I endorse your views.
Okay. Kachara sir,
Okay,
please.
sir. I have a small question to Kachara साहब. Sir, आपका lecture बहुत अच्छा था. I'll talk about this later on, but just a small question now. You mentioned that change of uh, yoni is rebirth, not change of body. Is that right? I
That's
don't.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
No, no. Then how can Manushya yoni comes to Manushya yoni? That is not rebirth.
No, no, it's a change of yoni, one from one Manish yoni to another Manish yoni. I mean, you probably there is some confusion, in my statement,
Yes, yes.
In-
Yeah, please.
Yeah, from one Manushya yoni, yoni is individual,
I see.
and
Okay. So in
yoni
the
is
same yoni, it can be born. No,
yes,
you
yes.
defined birth
No,
as
yoni is individual.
change
Yoni
of
is
yoni and
individual.
not of body. So I
This-
was confused a little. Thank you, sir. No, no, it is clear now. Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Dr. Gyanchand ji sir.
यस सर कछारा साहब को मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ कि इन्होंने इतना एलोबरेटली जो है इसके बारे में समझाया बहुत अच्छा किया और अब जो है भंडारी साहब ने जो पूछा एक्चुअली reincarnation is not a rebirth. Reincarnation is a avatar. Yeah, this concept is only we find in Vaishnava philosophy, not in other philosophy. The rebirth is current, and it can be from human to human, it can be to human to animal, or animal to human, or even it can be Negodia Jiva. Now, my clarification or question you can say is that regarding DNA, lot of people they talk of DNA. देखिए सेल्स जो हैं दो प्रकार के होते हैं न्यूक्लिएटेड एंड नॉन न्यूक्लिएटेड नॉन न्यूक्लियर सेल में डीएनए नहीं होता है, लेकिन वहां पर माइग्रेशन होता है, सोल का माइग्रेशन होता है। एंड मोर ओवर, डीएनए इज नॉट ए लिविंग एंटिटी, इट इज ए नॉन लिविंग थिंग। जस्ट सोल, आपने, अनिल कुमार जी ने कहा, सोल कैन पेनिट्रेट, सोल कैन एंटर इन द बॉडी फ्रॉम एनीवेयर। Yoni doesn't mean only vagina. Yoni means only the species, body, the entire body. It can enter to any part. And after entering, it depends upon the law of dominance and decisiveness. अगर उसमें जो सोल जो है डोमिनेंट है, तो जो सोल अंदर घुस रही है वो रिसेसिव हो जाएगी, और अगर वो अंदर जाने वाली डोमिनेंट है तो वो रिसेसिव हो जाएगी। इसलिए ओनली
आपका क्वेश्चन क्या है सर? आपका क्वेश्चन
मैं
क्या है
कुछ
कछारा साहब से?
मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, क्वेश्चन यू हुआ क्लैरिफिकेशन कि डीएनए इज
आपका
नॉट एसेंशियल फॉर फर्टिलाइजेशन। नाउ द सेकंड थिंग इज, नाउ फर्टिलाइजेशन इन विवो, योनि के अंदर, योनि का मतलब वजाइना से मतलब नहीं, बॉडी के अंदर, और आउटसाइड द बॉडी। अब कॉन्सेप्ट ये आता है, हमारी डेलिब्रेशन से मैंने कई बार कहा भी, पूछा भी कि साहब सोल एंटर होती है फर्टिलाइजेशन के टाइम में। अगर एंटर होती है तो मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि बाहर हम जो विट्रो में फर्टिलाइजेशन करते हैं तो वहां से कैसे एंटर होगी? वहां तो मेरा कंसेप्ट ये है कि सोल ऑलरेडी ओवम में और स्पर्म में होती है, एंड इट इज द
आप
यूनियन
इस
ऑफ
बात को कह
स्पर्म।
चुके हैं सर, आप पहले भी कह चुके हैं,
मैं कह
इसमें कुछ
चुका हूँ,
नया नहीं है।
लेकिन क्लैरिफिकेशन नहीं आता अभी तक।
नहीं, हाँ, नहीं होगा क्लेरिफिकेशन सर, आपके क्वेश्चन का
क्लैरिफिकेशन नहीं आता।
क्लेरिफिकेशन नहीं हो
और
सकता है।
और नहीं, यही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, लोग जो और
हाँ, नहीं
बातें
हो
बहुत
सकता है,
करते हैं।
पिछली बार ही क्लेरिफाई हो गया था
हाँ,
ये।
नहीं क्लैरिफाई कुछ नहीं हुआ, नथिंग, जब तक ये चीज क्लियर नहीं
नहीं, ये
होगी।
क्लेरिफाई
अब
होगा कि आपके क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं हो सकता है।
मेरा क्वेश्चन
और
नहीं है, दिस इज फैक्ट। एंड आयु कर्म,
नहीं, फैक्ट
आयु
है,
कर्म की
इसको
हम बात
आंसर नहीं
करते
दे
हैं।
पा रहे हैं।
तो नहीं, अनिल जी, ये आई डोंट एग्री टू यू। यानी सवाल
ओके
ये है कि 3 दिन से डेरिवेशन होती है, हम दुनिया भर की बातें कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो
जी
मेन कंसेप्ट है आयु कर्म की और सोल की, एक सोल क्या एंटर होती है एट द टाइम ऑफ फर्टिलाइजेशन? नो,
सर
इट नेवर एंटर।
ये रमेश जी
हाँ,
बोलिए।
जय जिनेन्द्र, मेरा प्रश्न सीधा ये है कि अभी हम देखते हैं कि मोक्ष में अनंत दर्शन, अनंत ज्ञान, अनंत सुख, अनंत वीर है। तो फिर वो जो उत्पाद व्यय द्रव्य का आपने बताया आत्मा में परिवर्तन होता रहता है, वो किस प्रकार है?
वो उसी में होता है। ये अनंत ज्ञान है, लेकिन वो अनंत ज्ञान में भी वेरिएशन हो सकता है। अनंत दर्शन है, उसमें भी वेरिएशन होता है। ये तो होगा, बिना उसके तो वो द्रव्य सिद्ध नहीं होता। तो वो हमेशा होता है, वहाँ वहाँ भी होता है, लेकिन रहता अनंत ही है। अनंत में भी वेरिएशन होता है।
But
जी
in the liberated souls, I think, Kacharaji, Ananta Chatushta is equal in all the souls, I think, no?
सबके बराबर ठीक है, लेकिन समझ जी प्रश्न ये है कि जीव,
हाँ,
वहाँ जीव द्रव्य है कि नहीं?
हाँ, जी द्रव्य तो है ही। हाँ,
है तो फिर वो द्रव्य की परिभाषा यही है कि उत्पाद वे द्रव्य युक्त सप्तम। तो वो ये कंडीशन तो वहां भी सेटिस्फाई होंगी।
तो कंडीशन तो दर्शन और ज्ञान में घटित होगा ना सर।
जी
चेतना
हाँ।
ज्ञान दर्शनात्मिका है, तो उत्पाद
हाँ,
व्यय जब जानेगी तब देखने का नाश होगा, और
नहीं,
देखेगी तब
नाश नहीं
जानने
हो
का
रहा है। नाश
उत्पाद
नहीं हो रहा
होगा।
है किसी का। मैं समझिए, नाश नहीं हो रहा है किसी का, हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि नाश हो रहा है, लेकिन क्वांटम में डिफरेंस आ जाता है।
अच्छा,
जी हाँ,
Change of
नाश नहीं।
mode, we can say change of mode,
नो, क्वांटम
change
चेंज
of state.
ऐसा है कि जो अर्थ पर्याय होती है उसमें भी परिवर्तन होता है। षटगुण हानि वृद्धि की बात कही गई है। जो लोग जानते हैं षटगुण हानि वृद्धि क्या है, तो ये होता
in
है।
liberated souls also there is Shatgun Hani Vriddhi. In liberated souls also.
जी हाँ। नहीं नहीं, तो फिर वो द्रव्य सिद्ध नहीं होता है अगर नहीं है तो।
जी, मेरा प्रश्न जरा विचार उत्तेजक है, यही कि जब परमानेंसी है वहां पर, तो फिर परिवर्तन कैसे है? वह बात वही है, दूसरे शब्दों में।
तो बिल्कुल है वहाँ। मैंने आपसे निवेदन किया कि वो है, इसलिए है कि वो उसमें भी चेंज होता है। अनंत की भी एक अनंत की भी कई सी रेंज होती है, आप समझ लीजिए ना इस बात को। हमारे यहाँ तो कई प्रकार के अनंत डिफाइन की गई है।
जी, बराबर बराबर।
अनंत की भी रेंज होती है, तो उस रेंज में वो चेंज होता रहता है।
सर मेरा एक
ओके।
छोटा सा प्रश्न था। अनिल कुमार साहब, कैन आई आस्क?
जी जी जी।
कछारा साहब, आपने कहा कि वो पृथ्वी पे जीव बढ़ रहे हैं, मनुष्य बढ़ रहे हैं, तो और कहीं घट रहे होंगे। तो वो उसका लिमिटेशन है कुछ, या असंख्य है ये आत्माएं, या फिक्स्ड है?
नहीं, इसके बारे में तो हमारे शास्त्रों में आया है कि जो गणना की गई है कि मनुष्य योनि कितनी है, नरक योनि कितनी है, देव योनि कितनी है, ये भी एक वर्णन आता है आगम में हमारे कि टोटल योनि कितनी है। तो वो उसके हिसाब से है। मनुष्य योनि सारे लोक में एक सर्टेन नंबर है, तो कहीं ज्यादा हो सकती है, कहीं कम हो सकती है।
नहीं
तीन
सर,
सौ तिरसठ टोटल है।
योनि वो 14 लाख योनि की बात कर रहे हैं आप?
नहीं नहीं, 14 लाख की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं संख्या की बात कर रहा
नहीं, योनि इज अनदर थिंग एंड नंबर इज अनदर थिंग।
हूँ। आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ नंबर। जैसे आप बात कर रहे हैं नंबर, जैसे कि जनसंख्या बढ़ रही है, जैसे ह्यूमन पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है अर्थ पे, तो ये
वो तीन
एक
सौ तिरसठ नंबर है। 363
जो
योनियां
जो
हैं।
जोने
प्रकार।
जैनिज्म जो एक द्वीप की बात नहीं करती। हम तो असंख्य द्वीप, सारे लोग की बात इकट्ठा करते हैं, कहते हैं कि जैसे मतलब टोटल पॉपुलेशन जीव की कितनी है, तो कहते हैं कि जीव तो अनंत है और फिक्स्ड है, न घट सकते हैं ना बढ़ सकते हैं, अनंत है, अनंत अनंत है, लेकिन कम ज्यादा नहीं हो सकते। इसी प्रकार से मनुष्य की जनसंख्या, तो मनुष्य की जनसंख्या भी आपने आगे में वर्णन आता है, मैं उसको मैं रेफरेंस नहीं दे सकता फिलहाल। तो उसमें आता है कि मनुष्य की जनसंख्या कितनी है, नरक की जनसंख्या कितनी है, देवों की जनसंख्या कितनी है, ये भी आता है, वर्णन आता है। तो वो उसके हिसाब से कम ज्यादा, कहीं किसी लोक में कम हो गई, किसी में ज्यादा हो गई, किसी पृथ्वी पे कम हो गई, किसी में ज्यादा हो गई। तो हमारी पृथ्वी पे ज्यादा हो रही है, तो कहीं कम हो रही होंगी, हमको नहीं पता।
आपका कहने का तात्पर्य है कि असंख्य है पर फिक्स्ड है, ऐसा?
हाँ जी।
दिस इज अ
एक चीज
गुड
मैं यहाँ
कंसेप्ट।
क्लेरिफाई कर दूं कि ये जो चतुर्गति है, मतलब निगोद के अलावा, उस चतुर्गति में 108 जीव जब मोक्ष जाते हैं, उतने ही जीव वो निगोद से निकल करके चतुर्गति में आते हैं, लेकिन संख्या फिक्स रहती है जीव पर। चलिए, एक
तो
एक दूसरा
वो
पीस में
वो
एक
नित्य
मैं थोड़ा सा
निगोद
एक।
और इतर निगोद की बात आई जो आपने कही, नित्य
जी जी
निगोद और
जी
इतर
जी सर,
निगोद
जी
दो शब्द आते
जी
हैं।
सर, जी
तो
जी सर।
इतर निगोद में जो 108 जीव मोक्ष को जाते हैं 6 महीने 8 महीने 8 समय में,
6 महीने,
तो
6 महीने 8
हाँ
समय।
हाँ, उतने
हम्म,
वो मोक्ष जाते हैं, तो उतनी ही संख्या
हम्म।
नित्य निगोद से निकल कर इतर
से
निगोद में आ
निकल करके
जाती
चतुर्गति में आती है। अच्छा,
है।
एक
हाँ।
दूसरा पीस जो मैंने अभी एक पढ़ा था, उसको मैं शेयर करना चाह रहा हूँ। वो ये है कि जब sperm is entering or making the zygote, then up to 7 days a soul can enter or soul can take birth in that yoni. After that, that zygote will destroy as per our Zen text. I have read somewhere today.
हाँ, वो
And
ठीक है, वो
yeah,
आया
yes,
है,
just
वर्णन आया है। वो वर्णन आया
yes,
है
sir.
कि वो कितने समय तक रहता है, ये
हाँ.
ये भी वर्णन आया है
In
अपने
norm,
यहाँ।
I will add, in normal conditions. Suppose we
जी
are putting that into some freezer or somewhere, it become not normal. Yes.
हाँ, ठीक कह रहे
Okay.
हैं।
Now Binita ji.
अ, हाँ जी। जय जिनेन्द्र, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है। जो भी हम ये कह रहे हैं, तो केवल ज्ञानी क्या अरूपी द्रव्यों को देख सकते हैं? क्या वो देख सकते हैं कि आत्मा ने, एक आत्मा जब गति करती है वो 2 समय में, 1 समय में, 4 समय में हो रही है? तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि अरूपी द्रव्यों को क्या केवल ज्ञानी देख सकते हैं?
नहीं, अनुभव करते हैं। देखना अलग चीज है, अनुभव करना अलग चीज है। देखना तो चूंकि वो नॉन फिजिकल है, तो देखने का तो प्रश्न नहीं उठता है। नॉन फिजिकल चीज को कैसे देख सकते हैं? अनुभव कर सकते हैं। तो ये
तो
अनुभव के आधार पर बताते हैं।
तो ये सारी जो कैलकुलेशन की जाती है कि 4 समय में लगते हैं गति से दूसरी गति जानने में, तो वो सब अनुभव के आधार पर कहा गया है?
वो देखिए, जो ये आप संसारी आत्मा की बात कर रही हैं, और संसारी आत्मा में कार्बन शरीर तेज शरीर होता है, तो उसका फिजिकल पार्ट भी है। वो नॉन प्योरली नॉन फिजिकल नहीं है।
ओके, तो आप कह रहे हो कि कार्बन शरीर तो रूपी ही है, मतलब
बिल्कुल, हाँ,
चतुष्पक्षी है।
वो तो रूपी है, तेजस्वी रूपी है, वो साथ चलता है ना आत्मा के।
तो
वो
फिर
जो है,
तो फिर जब हम सिद्ध गति को जाते हैं, हमारा कार्बन शरीर जो सिद्ध गति में हो रहा है, जो
सिद्ध गति में तो नहीं है ना। सिद्ध गति
हाँ,
में कार्बन शरीर तेज शरीर नहीं है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
तो वो तो एक समय में चला, ऐसा विश्वास किया जाता है कि एक समय में वो सिद्ध शिला पे चला जाता है जी।
हाँ, तो ऐसे पढ़ा जाता है जैसे कि वो कहते हैं कि जब सिद्ध गति में जाते हैं तो जितना उनका शरीर होता है वो एक तिहाई भाग रहकर वहां पे स्थित हो जाता है। तो वो कैसे देखा गया कि वो एक तिहाई भाग जगह लेते हैं वहां पे, क्योंकि वहां पे
वो
कार्बन शरीर
उस,
फिर नहीं है।
नहीं, उसका लॉजिक है। उसका लॉजिक ये है कि हमारी बॉडी है, जैसे ये फॉर एग्जांपल हमारी अपनी बॉडी है, तो हमारी बॉडी में कुछ होलो पार्ट्स हैं,
ओके।
उसमें जीव व्याप्त नहीं है, तो वो उतना कम हो जाता है।
जी जी। ओके।
जीवराज जी साहब, डॉक्टर
हाँ
जीवराज जी, हाँ।
हाँ साहब, जय जिनेन्द्र साहब। अभी एक ये प्रश्न उठा था कि मनुष्य योनि में मनुष्य जो फिक्स्ड है क्या? तो ऐसा वर्णन तो नहीं आता है कि फिक्स्ड है, कम ज्यादा आता है कि कौन सा दिशा में मनुष्य ज्यादा होते हैं, कौन से मनुष्य में कम होते हैं, और किसकी अपेक्षा से। यानी वो तिरंज गति के लोगों से कम होता है, ज्यादा होता है, तो ऐसा सूत्र, ऐसे वर्णन तो पंद्रहना सूत्र में आते हैं। बाकी फिक्स्ड है ऐसा, असंख्य फिक्स्ड है, तो अब असंख्य में कई तरह के हैं, वैसा आप मान सकते हैं। बाकी ऐसे फिक्स्ड नहीं है कि
बिल्कुल, आप
एक
ठीक है, नंबर नंबर हो सकता है बिल्कुल, लेकिन असंख्य असंख्य ही रहेंगे, असंख्य की भी रेंज होती है। तो वो
हाँ,
उस
असंख्य भी
रेंज में,
7-8 प्रकार के हैं।
हाँ, तो उस
ठीक
रेंज
है।
में घट बढ़ सकता है, वो बात ठीक है, लेकिन
हाँ हाँ, उस रेंज
असंख्य
में अगर
अनंत नहीं हो सकता,
ठीक,
या
तो आप बिल्कुल ठीक
असंख्य का
फरमाया।
संख्यात नहीं हो सकता, ये कहने का मतलब है।
बिल्कुल साहब, ठीक
देखिए,
है, धन्यवाद।
प्राचीन काल में तो सारा नंबर इसी रूप में उसकी गणना की जाती थी, संख्यात असंख्यात अनंत, इसी रूप में, तो उसी रूप में लिया गया है।
हाँ, यह है कि पृथ्वी की
जी,
संख्या बढ़ रही है, ये बात अलग है। हाँ।
जी हाँ।
नहीं, यहाँ दूसरे जीव भी तो घट रहे हैं सर।
Okay, so any other question from the audience? Otherwise, now next, thank you, Kachara साहब, आपने इतनी देर तक बैठे हमारे लिए. So nice of you. We are grateful to you. Anyway, now any
I,
question
I,
to Samani ji? Yeah, yeah, Kachara साहब, you're
Can I
telling something.
also
I thank you, thank you. I thank
take
you and
can
all
I
of
also take
you.
this opportunity to thank Dr. Kachara Saab for a very illuminating talk. I think he has clarified many questions. I just want to also point out that uh, many of the points he has made, they are very authentic based on Agams and his vast knowledge. But uh, this also opens up possibility of doing some work and trying to prove them.
Yes.
I think uh, there is a good possibility that we take up some small thing and try to understand it with the logic. I mean, there's a lot of faith in agams, of course. All of us have, but nonetheless, some questions and some a variety of views are there on some points. So I just wanted to take 1 minute, सर, कि यहाँ पर एक समनी जी, यहाँ मैं फ्रेमाउंट में हूँ अभी, यहाँ समनी जी, अमल प्रज्ञा जी आई हुई थी, तो वी हैड मीटिंग and there were I think about more than 60 or 70 Jains gathered there. They have a very good group, and I think I see a couple of those people. Vanita ji is one, and Kulwant Badala is another. At least two I can identify from that group who are present here. So I just wanted to say there's a lot of scope of working, and uh, I think if we can formulate some questions which can be proved logically, then I think it will be a big step forward. And at the same time, I wanted to also make one remark that Dr. Anil Kumar Saab pointed out that a lot of people are complaining. So in the beginning, he made this remark. So I'm very happy actually about it. I take it as in a positive way. When people complain and ask questions, that means it is very interesting. So, sir, Dr. Anil Kumar Saab, I thank you for organizing this. Actually, we must express our appreciation to you. Complaint is actually a very good sign that people are not indifferent to what you have done. You have done a remarkable, you have organized this RTMs, and we have all learned a lot. So these are a few comments I just wanted to make. Thank you,
Thank you
Kachara
very
साहब,
much
and
for
also
your nice
वंदना
words.
समणी जी को भी मैं अपना वंदन
Well,
नहीं,
करता हूँ।
समणी जी से अभी क्वेश्चंस लेने हैं।
हाँ जी,
समणी जी के लिए कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं तो आप हाथ रेज करिए। इस बीच में कचारा साहब कुछ बोल रहे हैं।
last word. I thank you, Anilji, for giving me this time today. And I'll be happy to answer questions, if you can directly write to me. And I'll be happy to associate with any project, with JS Techs, in this regard. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, any question for Samni ji from the audience? I think she has clarified most of the things. So there is no other question. So
and
this
there
was
was just
our
one point I wanted to make about Samnichi's talk.
yes,
She resorts
yes.
to this law of causality to prove everything. So that we should take as the fundamental law which governs everything. उन्होंने कहा कि वो जिसके बिगिनिंग और एंड नहीं होता, उसके मध्य नहीं होता, देयर हैज टू बी समथिंग which continues. So I think that is the fundamental thing which has come out of our talk. And I want to express my gratitude to Samniji also for very illuminating talk and quoting authentic agams and various shlokas. Thank you very much.
भंडारी जी, actually, जस्य नत्य पुरा पश्चात तस्य मज्ज कोसया. If we are in present birth, then it is sure and certain we had our pre-birth, and it is sure and certain we will have our rebirth.
जी.
So this aphorism highlights that pre-life is actual, real. That's what I mean to say. Actually, evidences and all I was not able to clearly explain due to shortage of time.
नहीं, बहुत अच्छा था वंदा में, आपका बहुत अच्छा था लेक्चर, बट वो उसका फंडामेंटल वो प्रिंसिपल है, वो डॉक्ट्रिन, उसको फॉलो करना पड़ेगा अपने को. मैं जस्ट आई वांटेड टू एम्फसाइज दैट व्हाट यू सेड.
Yeah, I too accept a causation theory as a universal law. I too accept it.
जी. यस सर, अनिल कुमार साहब.
अनिल जी,
I think he is having some problem.
तो पूर्वी जी, आपको कुछ कहना है?
जी, next